The United States of America $quarter coin dated 1776 to 1976, commonly known as the Bicentennial Quarter, holds significant historical, cultural, and numismatic value. This coin was minted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, marking 2 centuries since the birth of the United States as an independent nation. It is part of a special set of circulating coins produced in 1975 and 1976, including the $quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, all bearing the dual date 1776 to 1976 to symbolize the bicentennial celebration. Notably, no quarters with the standard single-year date of 1975 exists because production focused entirely on the bicentennial design during those 2 years. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, the first President of the United States, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. First used on the quarter in 1932 to mark the bicentennial of Washington's birth. For the Bicentennial Quarter, Flanagan's iconic profile remained unchanged, though the date beneath Washington's bust was replaced with 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the nation's 200th birthday. Around the rim are the inscriptions "Liberty above, Washington's head," and "In God we trust." Positioned to the left of his profile, the reverse side of the Bicentennial Quarter showcases a completely unique design, created specifically for this special issue. The winning design, selected through a national competition, was created by Jack L.R., an artist from Arlington Heights, Illinois. It depicts a colonial drummer standing proudly with a drum representing the spirit of American independence and the Revolutionary War era. To the right of the drummer is a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars, symbolizing the original 13 colonies that declared independence from Britain in 1776. Around the top rim, the words United States of America are inscribed, while the denomination $quarter appears along the bottom. These bicentennial quarters were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark. Circulation strikes were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition for everyday use, while special collector's editions, including proof and silver-clad versions, were minted at San Francisco. The silver-clad proof and uncirculated coins, containing 40% silver, were sold in special collector sets and are more desirable among numismatists. From a historical perspective, the release of the Bicentennial Quarter was part of a broader wave of patriotic celebration throughout the United States during the 1970s, including parades, fireworks, and commemorative events honoring the nation's founding principles. The coin itself became a tangible symbol of national pride and unity. Widely circulated and collected by millions of Americans and enthusiasts worldwide, numismatically the Bicentennial Quarter is not considered rare in circulated condition, as hundreds of millions were produced for public use. However, uncirculated specimens, particularly those with high-quality strikes, pristine surfaces, or from silver-clad collector sets, command higher value among collectors. Over the decades, this coin has remained a cherished keepsake, often retained by individuals as a memento of the nation's history rather than spent in daily commerce. Its distinctive design and historical significance have made it one of the most recognizable and enduring coins in modern U.S. coinage. The Bicentennial Quarter, with its dual date and commemorative imagery, represents not only the history of American independence but also a moment in modern history when the nation paused to reflect on its journey, its struggles, and its achievements over 2 centuries. For collectors, historians, and ordinary citizens alike, the 1776 to 1976 quarter continues to symbolize the enduring ideals of freedom, democracy, and unity that remain central to the American identity. Next up, the 1999 Connecticut State Quarter, part of the groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program launched by the United States Mint, stands as both a numismatic milestone and a vivid tribute to one of the original 13 colonies of the United States. This quarter commemorates Connecticut's ratification of the U.S. Constitution on January 9, 1788, and was the 5th quarter released in the series. Debuting on October 12, 1999, the obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932, and modified slightly for the State Quarters program to accommodate the unique reverse designs. The inscriptions on the obverse include United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination $quarter. The reverse of the Connecticut Quarter is what truly captures attention and historical reverence. It features the legendary charter oak, a white oak tree that once stood in Hartford, Connecticut, and symbolizes a defiant stand for colonial self-rule and liberty. According to cherished Connecticut law, the colony's Royal Charter of 1662, which granted it significant autonomy from the British Crown, was hidden within the hollow of this massive oak tree in 1687. This act of concealment was in direct resistance to the attempts by Sir Edmund Andros, governor of the Dominion of New England, to seize and nullify colonial charters in favor of centralized royal authority. Though the tale is partly shrouded in myth and oral tradition, it has been embraced for centuries as a symbol of the independent spirit of Connecticut and its resistance to tyranny. The image of the charter oak on the coin was meticulously engraved by T. James Farrell, based on a design concept approved after rigorous public feedback and internal artistic deliberations. The tree itself was over 400 years old when it fell during a violent storm in 1856. However, before its fall, its image had already become iconic, appearing in paintings, schoolbooks, and early American coinage. The Connecticut Quarter carries the inscriptions Connecticut, 1788, its year of statehood, the charter oak, and 1999, the year of minting, along with E pluribus unum, the national motto meaning out of many, one. As part of the 50-state quarters program, each state was honored in the order it joined the Union. The Connecticut Quarter followed Georgia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, making it the final quarter released in the program's inaugural year. The program itself was authorized by the 50 States Commemorative Coin Program Act, signed into law by President Bill Clinton in 1997. It quickly became one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history, not just for collectors but for educating millions of Americans, especially schoolchildren, about each state's history and symbols. In terms of mintage, the 1999 Connecticut Quarter was struck at both the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints, with a combined mintage surpassing 1.3 billion coins, reflecting its widespread circulation and popularity. Specifically, the Philadelphia Mint struck approximately 688 million, while the Denver Mint produced about 657 million. Additionally, proof versions were minted in San Francisco's in both clad and 90% silver formats, intended for collectors. These proof coins exhibit a highly polished, mirror-like surface and are included in annual proof and silver proof sets. The physical specifications of the Connecticut Quarter align with the standard U.S. quarter dollar. It has a diameter of 24.26 2000, a thickness of 1.75 millimeters, and a weight of 5.67 grams. The composition is a clad blend of copper-nickel outer layers bonded to a pure copper core, with silver proofs being made of 90% silver and 10% copper. The edge is reeded, consisting of 119 reeds numismatically, while the Connecticut Quarter is common in circulation and usually holds face value in worn condition. Uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS-67 or higher by grading services like PCGs or NGC, can fetch higher premiums, particularly if they exhibit strong luster, sharp strikes, and no contact marks. Proof versions, particularly the silver proofs in PR69 DCAM or PR70 DCAM, are also valued by collectors, though their market price is influenced by silver content and set demand. There are no major recognized errors in widespread circulation, but collectors sometimes seek minor die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes as curiosities. Historically, the charter oak is deeply entwined with Connecticut's identity. Its legacy continues in the naming of institutions such as Charter Oak State College, and its image has appeared on postage stamps, insurance emblems, and educational symbols throughout the state. The actual wood of the fallen oak was salvaged and used to craft historical relics, including chairs for the state legislature and decorative elements in museums and libraries, preserving its legacy as a living relic of freedom. In conclusion, the 1999 Connecticut Quarter is more than just currency. It is a miniature monument to America's colonial heritage, a symbol of self-determination, and a tangible representation of Connecticut's foundational role in the shaping of American governance. It captures in gleaming metal the fusion of mythology and historical truth, emphasizing the enduring power of symbols like the charter oak to inspire reverence, pride, and curiosity in future generations, whether in a collector's album, a child's coin jar, or the change in one's pocket. This coin continues to tell the story of a state and a nation rooted in the ideals of liberty and independence. The 2022 United States quarter dollar with the D Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Denver Mint, marks a significant shift in U.S. coinage both in design and theme. This coin belongs to the American Women Quarters program, launched by the U.S. Mint to honor the diverse accomplishments and contributions of women to the nation's history. The program spans from 2022 to 2025, with up to 5 designs released each year, each featuring a different trailblazing woman on the reverse. The obverse front design of the 2022 quarter underwent a notable transformation for the first time since 1932. It no longer features the traditional John Flanagan portrait of George Washington. Instead, the 2022 obverse was designed by Laura Garden Fraser, one of the most important female sculptors of the early 20th century. Her right-facing portrait of George Washington was originally created in 1931 for the George Washington Bicentennial and was recommended by the Commission of Fine Arts, but ultimately passed over at the time. Its revival in 2022 symbolically underscores the focus of the series on long-overlooked women in history and art. This choice not only restored a historical design but also served as a powerful tribute to Fraser herself. The reverse side of the 2022 quarter comes in 5 distinct versions, each honoring a different American woman: Maya Angelou, Dr. Sally Ride, Wilma Mankiller, Nina Ott Warren, and Anna Mae Wong. Each woman made an enduring impact in fields ranging from literature and civil rights to space exploration and cinema. For instance, the Maya Angelou Quarter shows her with uplifted arms and a bird soaring behind her, symbolizing freedom, and her renowned autobiography I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. The Sally Ride design features her next to a space shuttle window, paying homage to her groundbreaking journey as the first American woman in space. Wilma Mankiller, the first woman elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, is shown in a position of strength and dignity. Nina Otero Warren, a son and educator, is commemorated alongside inscriptions highlighting her advocacy for bilingual education and women's voting rights. Lastly, the Anna May Wong Quarter, perhaps the most visually unique, features a bold close-up of her face framed by elegant hands, symbolizing her pioneering role in film and her status as the first Chinese-American movie star in Hollywood. Denver minted 2022 quarters were produced in large quantities for circulation, making them accessible to collectors and the public alike. However, uncirculated or special versions such as those found in mint sets or struck with enhanced finishes higher numismatic value. Their composition remains the standard copper-nickel clad, with a redded edge, a mass of 5.67 grams, and a diameter of 24.26 millimeters. Each quarter carries the demint mark on the obverse, positioned to the right of Washington's bust. The coin's inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, United States of America, $quarter, and the respective woman's name and legacy phrases on the reverse, enhancing their historical significance. From a cultural standpoint, the 2022 2D Quarter series represents a remarkable moment in modern U.S. coinage. It introduces not just new faces, but new narratives, offering Americans the chance to see a broader, more inclusive reflection of their history in everyday currency. This initiative encourages public engagement with the nation's diverse past, shedding light on stories long overlooked in mainstream history. The launch of the American Women Quarters program in 2022 also reflects a broader movement within the US Mint to modernize coinage and highlight historical figures who represent the nation's diversity, resilience, and ideals. While the coins are functional, they serve as miniature monuments to progress, equity, and representation. The 2022 quarters, especially those with the D-Mint mark, are increasingly collected not only for their numismatic interest but also for the educational and cultural value they offer. In time, they are likely to become symbolic reminders of a turning point in American numismatics, a year when history, inclusivity, and artistry converge to create something truly meaningful in the palm of one's hand. Whether held in pocket, change, preserved in pristine condition, or displayed in a collection, the 2022 D Quarter stands as a dynamic tribute to the American women who helped shape the nation's story.